You hear so many people talk about why tourism is a great thing for economies and countries to continue developing. Now, I want to debunk this idea in a very easy way. So let's start by talking about why people think that tourism is great. Now, a lot of countries, a lot of places have reasons for people to visit. Let's talk about my home country, Italy. Italy is famous not only for its nature, but also for its history, for its art. So if you go to places like Rome or Venice, these are basically open air museums, right? You just walk around and you see so many beautiful things. Now here the beautiful side of things is that all of these assets that tourists are coming to see are already there, right? There is no cost whatsoever to the city, to the government, to whichever authority to push that tourism, right? So that's a cost-free way of making money. Let's think about another place, Bangkok, which is extremely famous for tourism. People go to Bangkok, well, for different reasons, but mostly because they love the Thai culture and the Thais are famous for their hospitality, and also because Bangkok is a vibrant metropolis. Lots of people have never been to such a big, bustling city, so people, are naturally drawn to Bangkok. Again, the Thai government in this case has, to do nothing about it, right? It's just free money in a sense. So these are indeed positive aspects of tourism. Are these good enough to justify tourism being a boon to an economy? I don't think so, and here is why. So firstly, some places have started to see tourism as the only viable economic activity for specific areas, right? Now, if you're investing so much into tourism, you're going to have a problem, and that problem is due to productivity. Let me explain. The only way salaries and companies and states keep growing is via productivity gains. Over time, you should be able to produce more. When I say produce, I mean services, tools, goods. You should be able to produce more with the same effort. So over time, let's take the example of a factory, right? By, for example, investing into machinery, that machine should be able to start producing 100 pieces an hour instead of 10, right? So what happens with productivity gains is that you're making more for virtually the same cost. I'm trying to simplify things a lot. So with productivity gain, you're going to make more money, right? Because ultimately your volumes go up, the prices stay the same roughly, but your costs diminish, okay? So productivity is key. Now, if you look at tourism, tourism is one of those sectors with the least productivity growth possible. And that's for a very simple reason. If you're a hotel, if you're a restaurant, right? So core key tourism driven activities, then the amount of dishes you can serve in an hour, the amount of guests you can work on in your hotel and host is limited, right? You cannot grow that. So if productivity does not grow, then a business, so in this case your restaurant owner, your hotelier, etc., will never be able to increase salaries, neither for himself nor for the employees, just because it's virtually impossible for them to grow productivity. So, long story short, what happens when you put tourism on the first place in terms of your economic agenda, then you're bound to have a productivity growth which will stall. Right? That's inevitable due to the very nature of a business. So, should you invest in tourism? Yes, but if you already have things, so art, nature, cities that people want to see, leverage that, right, or use it to the max. At the same time, acknowledge the fact that tourism can only give you this much, right? So as an economy, as a city, as a business, you should always strive to increase productivity. This is a simple explanation, or at least I try to keep it as simple as possible, of why tourism is not good for countries.